So we are working on history and good. Well, I didn't touch the deputyship last time, but I want to just mention a little bit shortly about it and move on to the next. Deputyship. We have responsibility. Actually, lots of responsibilities as fathers, mothers, grandfathers and grandmothers, sons, daughters, teachers, students, governors, and employees. We have lots of responsibilities. Once we have something to do, we have responsibilities. We can take our responsibilities without no obligations. For example, I want to just do this. I want to just fix my chair today. If that is my plan, I have to fix it, and that is my responsibilities. I want to just work good, so fix it right, and so we can sit on the chairs, something like that. So deputyship is kind of responsibilities. Responsibilities is fundamentally a matter of deputyship. So, we are managers and supervisors, we have responsibilities. We are employees, and that means we have deputyship too. In other words, we can say stewardship too. A man acting in the place of other man, for example, father, teacher, something like that, deputyship lies only in the complete surrender of one's own life to the other man or to God. Okay. So, we are not working for only ourselves, we are working for others, and we are working to God too. Nowadays people are just living by themselves, alone, and some people are building small cottages or huts or tents up on the mountains or in the shrubs or near the oceans. Even though they are living alone, they are living not only for those themselves, but they are living for others too. Which means we are preserving the nature, and then we have responsibilities to the nature too, to the creations of God. So we need to keep them clean and right, good. By doing so, we are serving God also. And at the same time, if we just make those mountains and oceans dirty, not only we are getting in trouble, but others get in trouble too because of what we are doing. So we are just keeping our waste in a safe place so people can enjoy the nature, the clean nature. Since we have coronavirus, people are not moving much, but now I just saw many cars on the streets on the way to the school today, which is good. People are working. Maybe people are just doing their business again slowly. That can be dangerous to others and themselves, but that is good for the economics, but I don't know for the public health. But anyway, people are just opening their working places and their jobs again. We'll see what happened, but it's still there. Anyway, in the meantime, for the last 2 months, we didn't do anything, and then lost to 30 million people lost their jobs, and they stayed there, and it's kind of a semi-lockdown, so-called social distance. And people, because they don't drive much, they don't run the factories much, so the air quality is was very nice, and even satellites shows what's going on these earth, and it's much cleaner than before. It's gonna go back again though, but that shows that we have to take care of this earth so we can live peacefully and healthy way, but at the same time our descendants can enjoy this earth. That's deputyship. So we are working for others, and at the same time we are working for God. So that's deputyship. We are keeping our things clean and right. Responsibilities is essentially a relation of man to man. That's why I have kids, so I have responsibilities to my kids as father, and they have responsibilities as children to me. Okay, so we don't want to just say only parents have responsibilities on children. Yes, they have to take that, but at the same time, children have to take responsibility to their parents too. But problems are happening because, if I forgot my deputyship, but ask others deputyship toward me, vice versa, and that can make big troubles though. Anyway, responsibility is essentially a relation man to man, so we have to take responsibilities each other. Okay, correspondence with reality. Action which is in accordance with Christ is action, which is in accordance with reality. So we want to see the reality too. It allows the word to be the word. It reckons with the word as the word. It never forgets that in Jesus Christ the word is loved, condemned, and reconciled by God. So that's the reality. Okay, that's what. So action which is in accordance with Christ is action which is in accordance with reality. So as Christians, we cannot say that we have only responsibilities to God. Okay, we are only related to Jesus Christ. That is wrong, because we have deputyship toward Jesus Christ. That means we have deputyship to others too. Because Jesus summarized all the laws in the Old Testament in two. One is love God, the other one is love your neighbors. So Christians are not isolated. Christians are kind of chosen in this world. It's not separated. It is holy, which means Christians are different. Christians are different. We look same, we do same, but our heart and our spirits and our attitudes toward God and people are different. So that means holy. Okay, holy is not that we are just walking on the clouds or on the water or something like that. We are holy because we are God's children. We are chosen. We are kind of different in some ways, but actually, basically, we are living with all other people, and we have responsibilities, and we have corresponding with reality. So, especially the courts, Christian courts, they insist something different. That makes big problems too. The acceptance of guilt. Well, I think from this, we want to just dig in a little bit deeper. The acceptance of guilt. The structure of responsible action includes both readiness to accept guilt and freedom. Well, when we do something bad, we feel guilty, okay? And if we don't do anything, we feel guilty too. Well, when we hurt others, definitely we are supposed to feel guilty, okay? And guilty feeling, right? And then at the same time, when people are getting trouble and they need help, and we don't do anything, then we are supposed to feel guilty feeling too. Okay. So by doing something bad, we can make sins. At the same time, by doing nothing toward people who need our help, and we can do something for them, then we are supposed to feel guilty too. So we need to accept the guilty feeling. We need to accept the guilt. People are refusing to take responsibilities on others and God, and they do something bad. They don't do something good. So, but they don't feel guilt, cause, well, this is what Bible says, because their consciousness, we have a consciousness in us, right? That means even though we don't learn anything about the laws and regulations, something like that, but we know basically, we are born to know what is good or what is bad. Well, in some part we have to know and learn and study what is good or what is bad. But without those things, we know what is good and what is bad. For example, everybody knows that if we do something bad, we don't respect our parents, that is a sin. Then we feel guilt, right? Well, mothers, figures and mothers direct this and that. Fathers teach kids this and that, but they don't listen to them, even though they are teaching good, even though they are treating their kids right, nice, graciously, but they don't listen to their parents, and they don't practice what they learned from parents, and they are supposed to feel guilt. And they have to accept it. They have to accept it. The guilty feeling. Well, some people are refusing to, accept that because they don't want to follow their parents' directions. They want to just what they really want to do. Well, we all have a freedom, but we know, even though without any education, we know that we have to respect our parents. And parents are supposed to take care of their children too. A crazy, stupid young couple, I'm sorry for the strong words, but a couple just neglected their kid, little, kind of 2 or 3 years old kid, and they just played in the, bars and clubs, and they just hang around here and there for a couple of days and they totally, it's not forgetting, they just ignored and neglected their kid. And the kid just was vulnerable in the meantime, and with some reasons, the kid just died. And they have to accept guilt because they did something wrong. That was totally bad behavior, right? they just let their kid die. That's not, we all know that that is wrong. We don't have to lie about it. We know it. That's what's so-called common sense. And we know how we know it because we have consciousness. Okay. So we cannot say, I didn't know. No, you know it because you have a consciousness in you. There is kind of a built-in law in us. That's built-in law in us, consciousness. But as I said, some people are refusing to accept the guilt. That is kind of, that's what perverted people do. Okay, Jesus takes the burden of people's guilt upon himself. Okay. Well, I don't think people didn't know and didn't feel any guilt at the time or nowadays also. But even though they know what they are doing and what sins they have and made, but they actually, we don't have anything for that, to do for that, which means we can't save ourselves because we made sins and we are vulnerable, we are perverted, we are distorted, and we are crooked. And how we can save ourselves? We can help others, but we cannot save them from out of their sins because we cannot forgive them. Even though we can forgive them, what about God, the Creator? Okay. So Jesus had to burden all the guilt upon him so he could save, he could forgive, he could rescue people, he could deliver, us from the evil. What if Jesus didn't accept the guilt? People's guilt. He wouldn't, burden those guilt upon him at all. But he did because he acknowledged that people have sins and they need something. And Jesus is the only one who can save the people. That's what he did. Which means Jesus accepted the people's guilt. Okay. What about the conscience? Well, I just mentioned about the consciousness. Conscience. No one wants to against his or her conscience. Right? Yes. We do that too. Well, that's why we steal others' properties. That's why we hit others' bodies. That's why we plan and actually practice malicious plans. Okay. Then that is against our conscience. We know stealing is bad. Even though we don't know anything, we know stealing others' properties is wrong. We know telling a lie is wrong. We know killing others is wrong. We know adultery is wrong. We know that because we have conscience and our consciousness. we know it, but we can and we do against our conscience. We know it, but we don't want to do it. So we practice something wrong. Okay. Well, when we all can follow our conscience, what problems we can make? Maybe in detail we have to learn some so we can avoid mistakes and sins. But basically we know what we are supposed to do and what we are not supposed to do. So basically we know what we have, the conscience in us, but we against our conscience and we make sins, we make troubles. That's the problem. So we are again, because we are missing our conscience, we make sins, we make troubles, we hurt others, we make others sad. Why we are against our conscience? Because we are selfish. Because we want to have more. Because we want to enjoy, what we are doing actually. Because people are enjoying what they kind of their wrongdoings, right? Because people are enjoying hurting others, killing others, and fires on others' properties. That's what we do. That's what we do. So that's against our conscience. That's pretty bad. Well, freedom. What about freedom? Responsibility and freedom are corresponding concepts. That's right. Corresponding concepts. We have freedoms and we have responsibility. As I told you, we have lots of responsibilities. Many responsibilities we have, and we have to take deputyship and show the deputyship actually. But the responsibilities corresponding the freedoms, we have free will to do it, and at the same time we have free will not to do it. And well, because we are not robots, we have responsibilities and we have to do it. There is no other way, because it is programmed to practice the responsibilities. But we are not robots. We have a free will. So free will, conscience, responsibilities. We have to connect those right, or we can break our responsibilities with our freedom. The responsible man acts in the freedom of his own self. Well, that is partially true actually, but by itself it is totally right. The responsible man acts in the freedom of his own self. Well, I'm a father. I have to feed my kids and I have to take care of them so that they can grow as good civil people, good as nice and people who can take responsibilities and who can prosper, and then make their dream come true. That's the responsibilities as fathers. But that is we have to. The fathers are supposed to do it by own will. But that is true. But at the same time, it is pretty hard taking care of kids. It's not easy, you know. They listen to you. They listen to their fathers and mothers when they were young. But as time passes, you know, as they grow, they know, and they have their own ideas and wills and kind of urges, and they have their guts, and so they don't listen to their fathers and mothers much when they grow up, and they realize that their parents know, you know, their knowledge is kind of compatible, or they can kind of compete, or they can against to their parents' wills and teachings, and then they're gonna rebel sometimes. You know, it's pretty hard to take care of the kids, especially the boys. I don't know why, but usually I don't know why, but usually raising boys is kind of harder in general. Okay. But the responsible men, responsible parents, they do, you know, they take their responsibilities by their own will. But do they do that? Even though that is hard, even though that is pretty hard and tough job as parents, as fathers, as mothers, but they do that by their own will. But some people run away. My friend's father ran away when he was young, like when he was in junior high, I think. His father ran away because his father didn't love his mother anymore. His father had made, you know, another woman as his love. So he just ran away. He was supposed to take responsibilities as fathers and husband, but he just ran away. He just gave it up, right? By his own will, by his own will. Then how we can think about it? He just broke the responsibilities. He just broke the relationships. He didn't talk with his wife and kids for a long time, but he enjoyed, you know, his life with his girlfriend. And what about the responsibilities? There's no responsibilities. He just broke the relationships by his own will. And, you know, he just gave up his responsibilities, his fathers and husbands and head of the family. Okay. The responsible man acts in the freedom of his own will, but at the same time, they can break it by his own will too. We have a freedom. That means we have freedom. But how are we going to use our freedom for good? Okay. In responsibility, both obedience and freedom are realized. Yes, responsibility and obedience and freedom. Okay. So obedience and freedom. Even though we have freedom, yes, I can be, you know, I can have kids and I can be a father, And at the same time, if I leave them, if I break the relationship today, I can enjoy my life another way. I can enjoy my life with my kids, and I can enjoy my life with someone else, or without my kids. If I leave, I can leave. You know? And then that's it. I can forget. Well, can I forget forever? Well, I'm gonna just remind them, but I can ignore and I can neglect and I can refuse to accept the guilt. But I wanna just enjoy my life because I have freedom. But as a father, I have obedience. I have to take obedience as a father. So I have to serve my kids, and I have to feed my kids, and I have to take care of my kids as a father because I have obedience. I have to submit the obedience toward my kids because I'm a father. Okay? Because even though I have a freedom, and so I want to just enjoy my freedom to serve and care my kids, and that is the father, right? That's also called the fathers and mothers and parents. Okay. Obedience and freedom. We have all kinds of responsibilities, but we are free people. Okay, we have freedoms. So, what kind of things we want to choose? What do you want to choose? Because you have a freedom. What do you want to choose? You want to choose something good for you and others, or you want to just choose only good for you and let others wonder, and let others have hard lives. What are you going to do? So freedom, obedience, how are you going to just mix, how are you going to mix so you can make something better? It's all up to you. And even though we have a freedom, how are we going to just enjoy the freedom? As obedience? Or as, or by breaking that. Okay. At the place of responsibility, vocation. Well, do you have a job? That is your vocation. So, do you have your dream job? That is your vocation. Do you have anything else? That is your vocation too. How are you going to take the responsibilities? For making money, you have to take your responsibilities, or you're going to just got fired, or you're going to lose your job, and then you're not going to make money. Okay? Without money, you're not going to just enjoy what you want. Majority of what you want need money, and we are working for money, but I'm just hoping that you can make money from your jobs, but at the same time you can enjoy your job, and hopefully you can find your dream jobs so you can enjoy your working more and you can make money from your dream jobs. But I don't know how many percent people having their dream jobs, but it's not quite easy, For example, some music lovers and singers and music instrument players are studying in Europe, America, Asia, and Africa or many other places, but and South America also. And Africa is a good place to learn African music, kind of something deep. And I bought a cassette tape. Do you know what the cassette tape is? A long time ago, like 25 years ago, 26 years ago, I bought a cassette tape in Canada, in Toronto, Canada, from powwow. Powwow is a festival. It's happening in many places. Powwow is festivals of North American Indians. They are real I just forgot how they call that. They are real Americans, right? They are landowners in North America. Because Europeans invaded and occupied and colonized the land, the North America, both Canada and America. Before Europeans invaded and occupied and colonized North America, the huge land, the American Indians and Canadian Indians, they used to enjoy their lives and in this kind of vast territory, but they had power festival, so they got together in one place and they just play music and dance and share their hunting things and exchange what they have, like a big market something. And I had a chance to just see the powwow, the Canadian Indians festival, and in there I just heard kind of very simple drum playing with sings, and I just bought the group's the cassette tape, the music like a CD or kind of what is that? The online MP3 something. 26 years ago. The group's name is White Tails, and the cassette tape has, I still have it, the cassette tape has like roughly 15 songs, but I can't understand any of them. But I really, love the drum, playing the drum. They just sit around in a big drum, and they got a long stick with kind of a leather wrapped head in a stick. They just hit together, hit the one drum together, and then they sing together. Or sometimes a singer, a soloist sing, and they just play the drum like this. It was very interesting, so I just bought it. I loved it. Well, but nowadays, lots of people are studying singing and playing music instruments in many places, but they can make good enough money to live. Majority of them can do it. They can make good enough money for their lives, for their families. So a majority of them are just having second job or third jobs, 2 jobs or 3 jobs or whatever. That's kind of sad. But in the long times ago, when they can sing and make but at the same time they just take care of cattle and make some meat from their animals, from their animals, and farmers they can harvest their what they can eat, but no one to make money from singing or from playing music, something like that. And that is then, which means lots of people are making money from not their dream jobs. That is kind of sad. So, I mean, some European countries and in other places, the government supported the minimum kind of. They just found the bottom line of living, and they just support people who don't have kind of regular jobs or whatever, and they just the government support those people, so those people can enjoy their dream jobs and make a little money. So government money and their money, and they can manage their minimum life, so they can survive and they can buy what they need a little bit. I think that is a good idea too, because when living cost is too high, you cannot focus on your dream jobs. Okay. So, but if you invest 8 hours or 10 hours a day for making money, and you're gonna get tired, you're not gonna concentrate on your dream things like singing or playing music or drawing or traveling, things like that. But as you know, YouTube is the best in this world. I mean, cause YouTube is paying people for by advertising something. Because when you have a certain number of subscribers and view numbers, and the YouTube pays you, and I had no idea how much money they are making, but they are making lots of money by advertising or something like that. And they can use some companies' products, and even some people are just letting people know how to use the new products of certain companies, and they are making money from the companies, and at the same time from YouTube when they have good enough number of subscribers and view numbers. I think that is good. People can enjoy watching them. At the same time, they can do what they really want. I'm not saying all YouTubers are doing what they really want, but that is pretty close. They do what they can do good, and they do what they like, and they enjoy it, and they feel it, and they just spread it, and they can make them money. I think that is good. That is good too. But still, just a few people are making big money, but I think people are making money too. I found I still don't understand how come the boy is making big money from YouTube. I mean, he's living in Africa, and he cooks. He cooks in a field. There's nothing but dirt and weeds and rocks and pebbles, and those are all. And he just cook in a metal pot that's the only he has. He just fire the metal pot. It's like wok something, and he just cook. But people like it. People like it. And I watched a couple of times, a couple of video clips he made. Wow, man. He's cooking in Africa, but he's subscribed. How many subscribers? I think that he has more than 1 million. I think 1 million subscribers. Wow, lots of people are watching his cooking. I can't imagine how much money you can make, but anyway, whether you are YouTubers, whether you are working in a factory or Google or huge companies or IT or whatever, you have responsibilities. I have responsibilities and you have responsibilities. We all have responsibilities. Or we're not gonna make money and we're not gonna enjoy what we are doing. And that's the place we have to take responsibilities. I think that's it. And then we're gonna just move on to the topic. Okay, we are a little bit behind, but I'll just catch that as soon as possible. Okay. Next one is ethics in transitional age. We know what the ethics is, but what about the transitional age? We are living in old transitional age, right? Well, there are kind of huge transitional ages too. Like after the World War One and World War Two, after the Great Depression, after the subprime mortgage kind of problems, and we huge transitional age, because of the coronavirus. Well, but basically, all ages are transitional, right? But there are particularly huge, and whether that is good or bad, usually they are pretty bad, like wars and virus and depressions or something like that. And then by having those hardships, we just change, because we have to change because of those things, because of those two big wars, and Vietnamese War and Korean War and Iraq War. As Americans, we have changes, lots of changes, but coronavirus and depressions and two world wars, great and big, that is huge, those make huge difference, and that's great. I mean, in good ways or in bad ways, and those are huge transitional age, right? We are continually making decisions that are ethical in nature. Yeah, in transitional age, we have to make decisions, and we have to take responsibilities on what we make. Because once we make decisions, we have to take responsibilities. We make decisions because we have to make decisions, and then in transitional age like this, coronavirus, and we have to make decisions. We're gonna open the society, or we're gonna just keep the social distance. We're gonna keep our economies revived, or we're gonna just be poor, and we're gonna go bankruptcies here and there, or we're gonna just reopen. But we are vulnerable to coronavirus. We can die. and I can kill you, I can be killed by others, by transferring viruses, or it's kind of a tragedy, but you're gonna starve to death. You're gonna die for hunger because of hunger, or you're gonna die with the virus. You can choose or something like that, right? It's kind of a sad decision, but whatever we make decisions, we have to responsibilities on it. And when we make decisions, there are ethic problems, right? Like when this government opens the societies, like canceling the social distance, but open the society, open the offices, factories, or whatever, and by making that decision, you government has to take responsibilities on the dying because of the coronavirus. All decisions have ethical problems. So, what are you gonna make? That's the problem. We have to think about it. But it's sadly it seems like that we have to choose die hunger or die sick. But we are just trying to make vaccines or treatments, but at the same, but we haven't got it yet. We haven't got it yet. I think it takes many months. So that is kind of sad, and people fear. And when we meet people on the streets or whatever, we don't say hi, but we just step aside or wait or just keep the distance. What kind of decisions are we gonna make, and what ethic issues we have on our decisions? So that is kind of a huge part. To live is to face ethical challenges. Yeah, that's right. So you got married and you have responsibilities because you made a decision to make married to someone. Okay, and then by making that decision, you have responsibilities because you made a decisions. You made decisions. You made decisions to marry to someone, and you have responsibilities. Well, half of Americans are divorcing, so I don't know. They are just running away from their responsibilities because they don't love each other, and actually we don't know how to keep our relationships last long, happily. I don't know. It is hard. It is hard, right? It is hard. So to live as employees, as employers, as governors, or as civilians, as cops, jeez. A cop, a white cop, I don't want to just say white cop or black cop or something, but I don't know why that is happening a lot by the white cops. And he killed the, African American man. He was driving. I don't know. For some reason, the cop stopped his car, and he stopped, and he just stepped outside of his car, and two cops, put the handcuffs on his hands in the back. But somehow, I don't think he resisted, but somehow the two cops put, the black guy down on the ground, and a white guy, the white cop, just press the black guy's neck with his knee very hard, and he just said, I can't breathe, and he just kept pressing his neck with his knee. And some other people are saying, please let him go, because he's saying he cannot breathe, and he's bleeding bleeding from his nose, and he didn't stop until he died. Well, cops are not for killing people, but saving people. And Minneapolis is very noisy because of that problem. Because of that problem. When we have job as police officers, post officers, governors and drivers, whatever, we all have responsibilities, and we have to know what we are supposed to do. Okay, all people are here to serve others, not kill others, right? Okay. We are working for ourselves, at the same time we are working for others too. And God is watching us. Why he pressed his neck with his knee until he died? Jeez, that was choking, right? It was choking. He was on the floor like this, and his neck, his head, turned this way, and somebody pressed the neck all the way down. He got handcuffed. He cannot do anything because at least two cops were there. What are you going to do with handcuffs in the back? Why he pressed his neck all the way down until he died? He was the white guy is supposed to pay what he did. It's not an accident. I think he has to get sentenced to guilty and go to prison for many years. So there is a riot. Kind of demonstrations or something like that in Minneapolis. What if that happens to you and your friends and families? To live is to face ethical challenges. How we are supposed to do. What kind of ethical challenges we have. So what kind of ethical challenges we have in our families, in our working places, as a human being in this earth. The ethical challenge in the contemporary world. The challenge we face is not new. The most popular one, how can we get along with each other? Lots of people are leaving their working places not because of their jobs is hard, but because their relationship is pretty hard without this. People hate each other. People don't like each other. People are opinionated, and people don't want to accept guilt. People don't want to admit what their mistakes or faults, and so people just quit their job because of the relationships. That's the majority. That's the top reason they leave their jobs. The relationships. Supervisors have huge power over his team. Managers, supervisors, CEOs, they have ultimate power. They can fire people. America is the top country in OECD, which means the top country in the world to fire easily. Okay, to fire easily. Okay. So the law is pretty simple. Once your CEO tells you you are fired, you are fired. That's it. There is no other supporting systems, but so in this most advanced democratic country, so-called, I don't know. Well, that is true actually. That is true, but in some areas, it's hard to say that, because when your manager and supervisor and CEO can fire you easily one day with no reason, whatever they choose, they can fire you. You have to leave your jobs. No other supporting systems ever, and what are you gonna do? You have to obey. You have to listen to them, no matter what. Well, we have to work together, and we have supervisors with reasons, and managers and CEOs, because they know. But what if the relationship is bad? You're working very good, but relationship is not good. Well, you have to be careful, and they have to be careful, but they're not gonna be careful much, more than you do, because they have power, but you don't have power. What can we get along with each other? So that's the challenge we face. Our difficulty, because of our contemporary situation, like abortion. Abortion was practiced in the ancient Roman Empire. It has long history, right? There's long history, but because of our contemporary situations, people go, love, crazy way, and then they got pregnant, but they don't want to take responsibilities, and they just erase the babies and pull the babies out of the body, and they kill first, and they cut pieces the dead body of the baby and take it out or suck it out. The uniqueness of our situation is largely linked to technology, which means we used to work with people, but we are working with robots and machines and tools, and then because we have to work with machines and robots, that means it's not human to human. That means we not lose the machinery, but people can lose humanity. What do you think? So those are our difficulties. So our contemporary situations are pretty tough, and there are more ethical problems. Okay. B, the ethical challenge and the Christian. We live out our days in the presence of God. We all know it. We all know it, and we all know God is watching us. You know what? I know God is watching us, but God is not watching us for pinpointing our mistakes and sins and, give us penalties or something. What I believe is that God is watching us always for helping us and supporting us and consolidating us and counseling us. That's what I believe. Absolutely, when we make something wrong, He's gonna just tell us that is wrong, and He's gonna guide us to better ways. But I think that with those reasons, God is watching us, and we are living presence of God. So when we tell a lie, when we steal, when we do something good, when we be honest, God is watching us. This God has preferences. Sure. What He likes. What He likes. God is watching us, okay? God is watching us. But He has preferences. Evil or good. What is His preference? He likes this, right? He doesn't like this. That's His preference. That's His preference. Okay. This God has preferences. We know that we are responsible to God, who is holy. Holy. He is holy because He has preference. If you prefer this, you are not holy. Okay. Okay. If I like the violent thingy, how can I say I'm holy? If I prefer dishonesty, how can I say I'm holy? Right? We are a community under God. We have responsibility. As God's children, we have responsibilities. In your family, we have responsibilities in your families. Okay. If you live in another family, you have different responsibilities in there. Well, there are common responsibilities, but this family, there are common responsibilities as a family. So it makes family, okay? But family B can have different responsibilities. When the family A is rich, you don't have many responsibilities on cleaning because you have cleaners in your home. But if you are in a poor family, you have to work and make money. Even though you are high schoolers or college, definitely college students, but you have to clean your room. You have to clean your. Because you don't have cleaners, you don't have housemaid. But as God's family, we have responsibilities too, because we want to just follow His preference, and He's holy. We want to just try to be holy too. Holy. Is it impossible thing? No, it's possible. If we want to just tell a lie, but we don't tell a lie, that's a holy. That is a holy. That is common, but that is holy. That is holy because it is common. Okay, holiness is more than common. It can be, but that is, if you are common, if you just follow the common sense, if you follow your conscience, if you follow God's words, that's holy. Holy is not there. Is here. Is here. Okay? You're gonna fight with others, but you're gonna just, make a peace with others. That's holy. Because usually people are fighting. They can't resist to fight. But they are holy. If you're a cop, but you don't press, others suspicious people's neck and die, that's more than common sense. That's not holy. That's dirty. That's evil. That's evil. That's evil. Wrong choice. Just put the handcuffs on suspicious person and take him to the police station and ask and Q&A and investigate something. That is common. That's holy. That is the right thing. Okay. You don't have to feed kind of New York steaks or $500 New York steaks or sirloin, whatever. You don't have to do that. That's not common. If you do that, you are holy, and if you don't do that, you are not holy. No, that's wrong. You just follow the right rules and just do what you learned. You are supposed to do. You just follow your conscience and the regular thing. You are holy because you are doing your job right. As God's family, God is holy, so we are supposed to be holy, and being holy is not very hard, but we can do that in our normal life, everyday life. We are also a community in the world. We are only belong to God's family, but belong to this world. Okay? That means, as God's children, we are living in this world. We just follow this world's rule, but at the same time, we follow God's rule. So in this world, we want to just be holy because God is holy, and God told us that we are supposed to be holy because God is holy. That's what God says, and when we follow the common sense and conscience, and we are holy because that is normal, that is right. Okay, so ethical challenges and the Christian. Well, we can't say people are asking us too much Jewish things or something like that. No, God is asking us something right, something normal, something common, and we can be holy too. That's it. And we're gonna just take care of rest of the